Tuning in. Sorry, I am extremely late, extremely late. But I had grandbabies. I was on grandpa duty, so I had trunk or treat to do with a couple of the kids on our block, and of course the grandbaby. So missed you guys last week because I was some of you know, some of you didn't know, but I was in Barbados having a great time, enjoyed myself thoroughly, had a little bit too much rum punch, but it was all good. It was a good time. It was a good time. So the topic today is let's see here. Transparency versus honesty. Which would you prefer? Transparency versus honesty. Is there a difference? Are the two mutually exclusive? Which would you prefer? Transparency versus honesty. Let me play the clip and let me know what you think.
You tell me the truth. That means you're being honest. I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
What do you think? Do you think that transparency is better than honesty? I just feel like a lot can be hidden in transparency. For example, the scenario she gave, hey babe, I'm gonna be at dinner with my boy Tom Boob and one of my other mans, E, whatever. And E's bringing his girl. How do you know that's the truth? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being transparent. To me, I feel like that's just giving too much information. I don't know. But I feel like you can be honest, and not necessarily you can be transparent and not necessarily be honest, if that makes sense. So all of those things I just mentioned could be true, but you left out one small detail. Maybe you don't mention that there's a young lady coming. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you're being transparent. All those individuals are going to be there, but you not talking about. You don't bring up the girl. So I don't know. I just feel like transparency, honesty. excuse me, honesty. You can be transparent without being honest, or you can be honest without necessarily being transparent. She said she don't like honesty, she like transparency. So I don't know, you give me your thoughts. What do you think? Are the two mutually exclusive? Can you be honest? Do you prefer honesty, or would you prefer transparency? Again, I'm definitely happy to be back. Glad y'all was able to comment on some of the show. Actually looking for like I said, I was out of town a couple weeks ago, so I wasn't able to actually do the show, but I wanted to get the conversation started nonetheless with you guys about the difference between honesty and transparency, and what were your thoughts on that. So let's just wanted to read some of the comments on that to get y'all thoughts on that, honesty versus transparency. Let's see here. Yeah, it looked like it was some good conversation. So I definitely appreciate that. Like I had said, I was out of town, so I really wanted to keep the show going, but I wasn't able to be honest, I didn't want to do anything while I was on vacation. I just wanted to chill, relax, and take in the scenery. But I'm gonna play the video again.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
But how is it that that transparency, that example that she gave of being transparent, how's that not still being honest though? How's that not still being honest? Just because he revealed that it was a woman going to be at this meeting with some of his friends. I feel like that was still a form of honesty. So if I'm saying that I'm gonna having some type of lunch date with my boys, but don't mention a girl, is that being a girl being there, and especially if it's not somebody for me, that I'm not being honest? I don't know. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that that's being that transparent? That indicates that you're not being honest. Let's see here. Again, if you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and hit hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and put that in the chat box. So we're going to try to do these shows on Thursday, like at least twice a day. One in the afternoon. I missed this afternoon. Just a lot of stuff going on. Just getting back in town, so it was a lot of stuff I had to do to get situated. And then kind of got held up because I forgot I was when I scheduled the show. I forgot I had to do something with the kids and on our block, the trunk or treat stuff. So I apologize about being late, but nonetheless, we're here still trying to get the show going. But I want to know your thoughts between transparency and honesty. What do you think? So I just want to read some of the comments that were mentioned. So Ken said that women want to know every detail. I'll take a summary. Kaya said there is a distinct difference. Kelly said you need both. Regina said we do both over here. Okay, so in her marriage, Regina, I gotta reach out to you too because I want to get you and your husband on Black Marriage Chronicles. So I'm gonna definitely reach out to you. And my sis, Pretty Brown said we want both of them. All right, Cora said she explained the difference very well. I expect both and I provide both. Sometimes you are moving through your day and may not always have the time to reach out and say, hey, this, that, or the third is happening. So when it becomes up and you respond with honesty, I can continue to trust that you are telling me the truth. Now, if you get to stammering and stuttering, we have a problem. Okay, what up, cuzzo? Yo, y'all outside with the kids doing trunk or treat? Yeah, we just finished up, man. We just finished up. So, question, what do you think? Do you think there's a difference between transparency and honesty? Do you want one over the other? Or do you want them both? What's your take on that? Don't forget the assignment hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window for me. Troy Wall said, that's fair. I'm not the best at transparency unless you ask me first. Because my days are long and I'm tired. I don't feel like talking that much. Okay. I guess well, how do you not be, how does transparency not equate to being honest though? Like, how can you not be honest without being transparent? So because the transparency didn't reveal that there were going to be other individuals at this luncheon, someone of the opposite sex, that's not being transparent. I don't know. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Do you agree? Let me play the video one more time.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency.
Stop. So I'm going to just say this right here. When she asked the question, hey babe, who were you at dinner with? She already knew the answer to that question. So to me, she already knew that those individuals were there. So when he told her, hey, I'm at dinner with X, Y, and Z, she already knew the answer to those questions, at least the way I'm taking it. Because women don't ask questions don't ask questions about stuff they don't probably already know the answer to. That's how sometimes we get tripped up because they pretty much asking questions they probably already know the answer to. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish playing the clip.
He is, hey baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant Sarah's gonna be there.
And that's
And that's transparency. So now guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
Okay.
I don't like honesty.
I think that you can be you can tell the truth and not necessarily have to be transparent. So I don't think that the two have to be one and the same. Like you can still be honest, and not necessarily have to be transparent because maybe um and I'm not talking about somebody of the opposite sex. I'm saying that you can be honest or be truthful without revealing saying everything because maybe the people that you're dealing with don't want everybody to know their business. Like I understand that like my wife do it all the time. There may be some things that we may have mutual friends and they may tell her, hey, not to tell me certain things, or not say that they don't not to tell me certain things, but she may not reveal their business to me. I, on the other hand, I mean, I used to have a problem with that, but I'm like, but that's okay. If she feels like it's something that I need to know, then I trust that she'll tell me. But there have been times where she didn't have discussions with mutual friends of ours that we know, family. Some of them have been my own family, and she just didn't, don't give me the details or was not transparent. But she was truthful, like, hey, I'm not gonna put their, tell you their business. I'll let them tell you, and that's fine. Like first, I used to have an issue with that, but I get it. You know, um, you can that's their relationship, so I'll just leave it at that's their relationship, so she chose not to tell me. um and it's cool, like, I think that you can be truthful without being transparent about or without saying too much, if that makes sense. I think you can definitely do that. So I think it's a fine line between being truthful and transparent. And again, it just really depends on the person. Because sometimes you can just say too much, and then there's so much that can be read into it. But of course, I know the saying ago, well, it depends on your partner. Absolutely. I definitely, and what doesn't depend on your partner? You got to know your partner, because everybody you can't be completely transparent with, because they may take it the wrong way, and then now that just leads to more questions. So I think it just really just depends on your partner. But I think that you can be, depending on your partner, you can either be truthful or transparent. And again, depending on your partner, maybe you can be both. And maybe everything don't require details. Everything don't require details. So you don't have to know you don't have to know every detail. I know I don't have to know every detail. Um, and hopefully, let's say comes up in later conversation or come out in later conversation, then you have a chance to explain. Now I may have some questions then, but at the time, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's always necessary. Let me quantify it with that. I don't think it's always necessary to be transparent, because if I'm truthful, I don't think it's always necessary for me to be transparent. If I'm not lying to you about anything, why is it necessary for me to give you the entire playbook on what's going on if I'm being truthful about it? So I think you can definitely have one without the other. I do think they are mutually exclusive. You don't necessarily have to be transparent in order to be truthful, or you don't have to be truthful in order to be transparent. I think your truth should speak for itself. So definitely want to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I do apologize for coming on late. It's been a long week. Most of you already know. Yeah, just came back from Barbados. See, I'm looking a little rough here. I was trying to hopefully to go see my barber before I got on air, but wasn't able to do it. So I'm looking a little rough around the edges here. Need to get a cut. But nonetheless, we're here. I do want to play the video again. You guys let me know what you think. Again, hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window.
I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And
that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
Your thoughts. Are the two mutually exclusive? Can you be transparent and not be honest, or be honest and not be transparent? Give me your thoughts. What do you think? I think it's again, because I know that the saying to go, oh, it really just kind of depends on your partner, and it does. It a lot of things depend on who you're with. Sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, it really just kind of depends on who you're with. Um, so we're gonna play some games. I definitely wanted to get on here before the football game came on tonight, Thursday night football. Definitely wanted to get on here before Thursday night football got on because I want to go sit up and watch the game. I haven't been able to catch football lately because of my work schedule, but that has since changed. So I'm happy about that. Let's while we're waiting on some more people to come on. Again, I do apologize about being late. All right, so we're gonna play the game. It is 80s lyrically correct mixtape. All right, and gotta get you home tonight. Eugene Wilde said, "A bottle of what will get them in the groove? A. Jack Daniels, B. Dom Perignon, C. Cristal, or D. Bacardi." And gotta get you home tonight. Eugene Wilde said, "A bottle of what will get them in the groove? A. Jack Daniels, B. Dom Perignon, C. Cristal, or B. or D. Bacardi." What's up, Robin? B. Dom Perignon is correct. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so here's another one. Jennifer Holliday said she was staying, and you're gonna do what? Jennifer Holliday said she's staying, and you're gonna do what? Hey, don't forget to put hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue in the chat window for me. Jennifer Holliday says she's staying, and you're gonna do what? Look, oh, you on the point. I see. Okay, let's see how far you can go with this thing. All right, here's the next one. At 6 a.m, who was at Ice-T's door? A, his girl, B, the police, D, his boy, or D, detective. Just an easy one. At 6 a.m, who was at Ice-T's door? A, his girl, B, the police, C, his boy, or D, detectives. This should be an easy one. I know you're going to get this one right. B, the police, of course. Who else would it be? All right, next one. What did Public Enemy want you to fight? What did Public Enemy want you to fight? I was just listening to some PE today. What did Public Enemy want you to fight? What did Public Enemy want you to fight? Ooh, I can't wait to go to the barbershop tomorrow. The power. That is correct. All right. So don't forget, Robin, to put in the chat window hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. All one word. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. And then I want you to listen to this clip and give me your thoughts.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
All right. Tell me give me your thoughts on that. What do you think? Was it necessary to reveal all those details? And see, the thing that threw me is when she said, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with? That implied that she already knew that who he was at dinner with. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, I generally believe that women generally don't ask questions to things they don't already know the answer to. And the way she asked that question, hey, babe, who you at dinner with? You know, and then then she went on to tell him. But I felt like she probably already knew that. At least that's how I'm looking at it. I feel like she already knew the answer to that question when she asked it. However, then the second scenario or example she gave, she preferred transparency over honesty. Then he goes and said, "Hey, babe." So now he's volunteering information. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and there's going to be one other additional person there. Was that really necessary? And give me your thoughts. What do you think, Robin? Was that necessary? Do women prefer transparency over honesty, or do you prefer transparency over honesty? Okay, Robin said, I didn't get that. Men rarely give details. Well, I think, yeah, you're right. Sometimes because we don't need to know why. If I'm being honest, why do I need to give all detail? Why do I need to give details? If I'm telling you the truth about where I'm going, hey, I'm headed out to dinner, or say I'm headed out to dinner. Me and the boys about to meet up. Why do I gotta give all the details about who all is going to be there? Now, if you ask, sure. Okay, let's see. Robin, you said yes. If you're being transparent, then you're being honest. Okay. Yeah, I believe that transparency can equal honesty, but she said she prefers transparency over honesty. My question is, what do you prefer? Do you prefer being do you prefer transparency or do you prefer honesty? And are the two mutually exclusive? They can both exist in the same space, don't you think? Don't you think both can exist in the same space? I believe they can both exist in the same space. That you can be transparent and be honest. I just think that if depending on your partner in the relationship you have, it's not necessary to give all the details. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it's necessary for you to spell out everything, every single thing that you're doing. Excuse me. When you're about to hand out with your boys or with your girls, that you have to tell me exactly everything you're doing. Now, if I trust you, I don't think that's necessary for you to spell out all the details. So if you and your girls were all going out and one of your girls just so happened to bring one of her male friends, and I say just so happened, I just happened to roll by the place, or one of my people saw one of the you with all your girls, and it was only one guy there. And if they didn't see anything inappropriate, I don't even know if I would even question you about it. Like if they didn't see anything inappropriate, that say if they saw if it was a bunch of girls and the one guy that was there, say one of your girlfriends brought one guy say he was gonna meet the girl there. It was one of your girls, and she brought a dude there, or told a dude he would meet her there at the bar with her friends, and he's there in the middle of all these girls, and they're having conversation, and just so happened, say one of my people walked by and saw my girl or my wife talking to the guy. This conversation, it would be no different if she was at this bar with her girls and the guy next to her at the bar struck up a conversation. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would be necessary for me to know all those details. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you just happen to come home and be like, oh yeah, I saw your boy. I was at the bar with the girls and I saw your boy. I can probably say most of my friends probably, if they didn't see anything extremely inappropriate, they probably wouldn't even tell me that you was having a conversation with a dude in the bar next to you if they didn't see anything totally inappropriate. In the case we're talking about, he said he was going out with his boys, but there did even in being a girl there. In this case, I feel he should be transparent since there was one. Than just his than just his boys. Okay. And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying you're wrong or right one way or the other. I'm just we're just having a conversation. So you saying the fact that a girl, even though he was going out with his boys, and one of his boys say he was bringing his secretary or whatever, that you would want to know that it was going to be a female in this group of at this dinner or wherever they were doing. Oh, don't worry about the typos. I was trying to, I think I made sense of it. So my question is, you prefer transparency. So let's just say he wasn't transparent about that, but he was honest about where he was going. And you found out later that there was a female there. What would be your reaction? And again, I think this is all based on experiences, your partner, who you're with. If the partner you're with has a propensity to tell lies or untruths, not being completely honest about some things, then I can see why you might want transparency. But if the person you're with doesn't have a history of telling half truths, then why is it necessary for all that transparency? If the person is not there for them and there's nothing inappropriate going on, because there have been situations, and I know we can both attest to this, where you've went out with your girls. Say one of you, maybe it's 5 of y'all. It's 5 of y'all, and that's including you. 3 of the girls are in relationships. The other one are in committed relationships. You in a committed relationship, but one of your girls is not so much in a committed relationship, but she tell her boy to meet her at this restaurant where she's going to be with her girls. I've been in those situations. So my question is, why is it necessary was it necessary for you to tell your husband or your man, hey, I'm going to a bar with my girls, but so-and-so may invited her friend is going to also be there? I don't think that's, I don't know. I just don't think that's necessary. I don't need that. I'm not saying I would be upset if you told me, oh yeah, or now I'm being suspicious. Again, I think it all depends on your partner. And if you have a history of not being truthful or telling half truths to me about something, now I got questions. Okay, yeah, you gonna be at the bar with your 4 girlfriends. One of them is inviting the guy. Now I may have some questions, especially if you have a history of giving me half truths, not being completely transparent for the sake of this conversation, you being transparent. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's only necessary. You have to be completely transparent if you have a history of telling half truths and not being forthright or forthcoming about certain things. Now I think that's necessary. So I'm going to play the video again for those who may have just joined in.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
So, yeah. The transparent, and there's nothing wrong with either. Again, we're just having a conversation. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being transparent, because of course being transparent can be a form of truth. Also, I don't think that you don't necessarily have to be transparent or give every detail if you have a history of telling the truth. I have no need for details if you've always been truthful with me about what it is you're doing, or when I ask the question, I don't get half truths. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't have that, then there's no need for details, in my opinion. In my opinion, I don't think there's no need for all those, for the transparency or the details, if there's never been any violation of the honesty code. So, but again, I think that just depends on your partner, who you're with, the relationship, how long y'all been together, what truths or half truths have been told in the past, which may have allowed me to be a little suspect of the things that you tell me. Then I may want transparency at that point. But if we haven't had those issues, I don't think I need transparency. I don't think it's necessary at that point. All right, let's play a couple more cards from the game. What did Alicia Myers want to thank the Heavenly Father for? What did Alicia Myers want to thank the Heavenly Father for? What did Alicia Myers want to thank the Heavenly Father for? For shining your light on me. All right, Robin, I see you. I see you. Okay. All right. Let's see what you let's see what else you got. All right. Schoolie D said that P is for the people who can understand what? I bet you don't get this one. Schoolie D said that P is for the people that who can't understand what? Schoolie D said that P is for the people who can't understand what? The clock is ticking. Schoolie D said that P is for the people who can't understand what? Yeah, I didn't think so either. I would have got this one wrong either. How one homeboy became a man. All right, here we go. And get down on it. What did Cool and the gang say you have to get on if you want your body to move? A, the groove, B, the beat, C, the rhythm, D, the DJ. And get down on it. What did Cool and the gang say you have to get on if you want your body to move? A, the groove, B, the beat, C, the rhythm, D, the DJ. Timer has been set. And get down on it. What did Cool and the gang say you have to get on if you want your body to move? A, the groove, B, the beat, A, in the groove. All right, Robin. Okay. All right, here's the next one. According to Stop the Violence movement, where are some people headed for? I know you should get this one. According to Stop the Violence movement, what are some people headed for? I'm playing the song in my head. According to Stop the Violence movement, what are some people headed for? What are some people headed for according to self-destruction? You're headed for self-destruction. All right, here's another question from the game. In Candy, what did Cameo toss and turn in their bed? I'm sorry. In Candy, when did Cameo toss and turn in their bed? In Candy, when did Cameo toss and turn in their bed? Ooh. I only seem to think about you. Yes, I do. In Candy, when did Cameo toss and turn in their bed? I know you know this one, Robin. Come on. At night. No, that is wrong. Nope, that is wrong. That is wrong. I'm gonna give you one more chance. When did Cameo toss and turn in their bed? Was it the afternoon? All right, it was in the morning. All right, one more. Freddie Jackson wanted her to rock him tonight for what? Freddie Jackson wanted her to rock him tonight for what? Freddie Jackson wanted her to rock him tonight for what? Freddie Jackson wanted her to rock him tonight for what? Going once, going twice. Freddie Jackson wanted her to rock him tonight for what? It was the morning, but we on to a new question and answer now. For old time's sake, that is correct. That is correct. All right, thank you so very much. So again, I want to play the video for the clip for anybody else who may just be tuning in.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
So here's my question. This same scenario, say, apply to you, and you asked your man, he wasn't transparent, but he was honest about where he was going. And you found out later that a female was there, somebody of the opposite sex. Would you be upset? Side note, I want to ask you about y'all trip. I want to go to Bar. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be more than happy to share Barbados. So it was a great time. Make sure that when you go, make sure you take some because our money is so it's 2 for 1. So one Barbados Bajan, I think it's called, money is equal to 2 of our dollars. So if something costs $5 is really 10 American dollars. So just make sure you remember that, and make sure you take smaller bills with you so you can give them change and stuff like that. Like some, I brought a bunch of 10s, but make sure you take like maybe some 5s and some 1s. It's like about a 4-hour plane ride from Miami. I'm trying to think what else. It was hot. They said the wife did the research and they claimed it was going to be a lot of mosquitoes. I think I got bit like maybe 3 times. So the mosquitoes weren't off the hook. But again, we just went and it was, I want to say they told us hurricane season either just passed or was like around the corner or something. But it was nice the entire time we were there. A couple times it rained, but then it quickly went away. Well, the only thing I found like you can really see the stars in the sky like real bright, but I never saw the moon. Now, like I can see the rays of the moon, but I couldn't see the moon itself. Maybe it was just from where the place that we stayed at. Trying to think what else. So they have it's like a festival. I'm trying to think what could you equate it to here in United States. But anyway, it's this place called it was definitely all inclusive. I don't do no trip where if it ain't all inclusive, Robin. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It was definitely all inclusive. The place that we stayed at, I definitely wouldn't go back there. Not because it was bad. It was just we were kind of facing the street, so we heard a lot of the traffic. The staff was really nice. The place we stayed, it was like a boutique hotel. I would have actually preferred the next time we go back, because we definitely want to go back, stay on an actual resort. I think, and I don't know if it was just the time of year we went, but we were probably about the livest couple there and the only black couple there. Let me just be honest with you. We were the only black couple there. Now, a couple black couples showed up towards the end of our trip when we were about to leave. But it was kind of, I mean, we end up having fun. Like the bartenders, we definitely had fun with a couple of the bartenders that were there. So it was one time I actually took over the music. I was like, come on, we got to liven this up. So I took over playing the music there while we were at the resort, at the all-inclusive. But yes, it was definitely all-inclusive. Barbados was great. We had an amazing time. We went and saw Rihanna's house. that she stayed in. And I'm trying to think where else we went. We went downtown. So you definitely want to make sure you go to Oystons, which is kind of like I'm trying to, what can you compare it to here in the D? It's like being downtown during a festival time where they have like the African World Fest. So you have different food vendors set up down in this particular area, and it's like maybe 15 minutes from where we were staying at. So we went down there and got stuff to eat. There was live bands. Not live bands, but there was a DJ there. The band, I think we ended up leaving before the actual band came on. But there were different places you can buy. And I actually have a video. Once I put everything together, I'll post it so you can see it. But at Oystons, they have different vendors where you can buy different things from. It's like right off the Atlantic Ocean. I'm trying to think what else. And then we went to Oystons. I'm trying to think what else did we do. We went catamaran. That was great. I ended up getting seasick, so I was a little mad about that because I love the water, and I didn't get a chance to get as adventurous as I would have liked because I ended up getting a little seasick. So I didn't really get a chance to take a whole lot of pictures of the underwater life, the marine life, and that was really, I had my underwater GoPro, I was ready, and ended up getting a little seasick. But I'm gonna tell you this right now before you go: when you make sure you do the catamaran. So when you do the catamaran, I would make sure you have some money and then some stuff you might want to charge in your card. Oh, you know what? We didn't do rum tasting. We had enough rum at the bar, at the hotel. So we didn't do rum tasting. And I think the reason we didn't do rum tasting, because I think my wife was saying it was too far away and she didn't really want to go too far. It was just, I think on the other side of the island. So it was just a long trip. So she was like, she didn't really want to do it, which I was cool with. It didn't matter to me. But we got enough rum at the bar we were at. And then when we went to eat. So if you do so happen to go to Barbados, in the area in which we were in, there is a couple different restaurants I highly recommend that were not too far from the hotel which we stayed in, which is called Soko. It's called Tapas, good food, good ambiance. And then there's another place called Backyard. I think it's just called Backyard. They got some great food too. So you check either one of those places out, and they're right off of the boardwalk, which is right down from the hotel in which we stayed in. So I'm trying to think what else I could tell you that you would. We had a great time. We went to this place called Harbor Lights. It was a great time. Again, like if we would have had a much livelier group there, but there were other people there from different other resorts that came there. So it was really a good time. They had live entertainment, fire breathing, a bunch of sisters doing African dance. It was really a great time. Guys singing different reggae, Afro beats, and I think they call it is it called Soko music? But anyway, it was a bunch. That was probably one of the best times I had while we were there, being at Harbor Lights. So there, I want to say it was like so it's like $100, maybe $150 US. But all your food and drinks came in, so you party from like 7 to almost like midnight or something like that. But it was a good time. Like it wasn't. You could either pay online or you could pay when you get there. My suggestion is I would, if I ever do it again, I'll pay online, pay it before I even got there. Because sometimes the line is a little long. But that's a good time. Harbor Lights. Make sure you, if you when you go, you want to go to Harbor Lights. And then we went there like kind of on a Wednesday. That was lit. We had a really great time there. Food was good. The drinks was good. It was just a good time all the way around. Like I could have went longer. We could have stayed there a lot longer. If they would have went on a little longer, we could have just stayed there and turned up a little longer. But that was a good time. So make sure you do Harbor Lights, Oystons, and make sure you do Harbor Light, Oystons, and what's the other place down there? Oh my God, I can't think of the name of the place. I can't think of the name of the place right off the top of my head, but I'll tell you before I end the show. So those are just some things we did. Like I said, the catamaran. When you do the catamaran, everything is included. You pay that one fee. So for you and another person, somewhere around $300 when you pay. And they serve you food. So you go early in the morning and you stay there till like 3 o'clock. But you get all your food and drinks are free. They feed you on the boat, and they stop at different places along the Atlantic Ocean in Barbados, and they kind of give you the history of the island and different things that you might see. That was well worth it. I think it was a great time. Like I said, they give you the history on the island. I'm trying to do something. Oh, so like I told you, I got sick. So make sure you either eat several hours before you get there, or don't eat until after you get in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't eat anything before getting in the water. Like, don't eat or drink anything unless it's just going to be some water. You want to keep it light. That's where I messed up at. So the cost of the trip total, I want to say, let's see, it was, because we went through a travel agent. My cousin booked everything. So it was like a little under $4,000, like total for the whole cost. But of course, we paid that over the course of a year, just kind of paid on the trip. So it was like about $4,000. That was including the airfare and everything as well. My cousin hooked us up because we got a ride to and from the airport. That was all included. So we got a ride to and from the airport. And in addition, when it was time for us to leave, we stayed in this executive suite, which, because we had a little layover until our plane ride came. So all the food and drinks in there was free. So it was, but I didn't think it was, I thought it was a good time. But we were there for 7 days. 6 nights, 7 days. So, yep. Okay, yeah, I'll send you her info. I'll make sure I send you her information. Shoot me a text. I think I still got your number. But yeah, shoot me a text and I'll send you my cousin's info. LaRonda, if you're listening to this, we got somebody that is interested in using your services. Friend of mine I went to high school with, she definitely want to reach out to you. Yeah, it was, Robin. We had a great time. I mean, a great time. Like, when I go back, I definitely wouldn't mind going back with some couples. Oh, you know what? We're going to Jamaica for my birthday next year. I'll send you, shoot me a text and I'll send you the invite for that. Maybe y'all can join us there. We plan on turning up. It's going to be a whole different vibe when we go there, because we got couples coming and people coming. It's going to be a whole bop. So make sure you send me your information and I'll send you the flyer for that. And that's through my cousin. It'll have her information on there, and you could talk to her about other trips you may be interested in taking. So yeah, make sure you shoot me a text. Because again, I'm not for sure if I still have your number or not. Yeah, shoot me a text. Or inbox me with your information. Or you got the wife information, reach out to her. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, but it really was a great trip. I had a great time. Like, I mean, it was like I could have even stood for maybe one more day, but 7 days was great. Yep. Okay, I just got your text. So it was I could have even stood for one more day, but it would have me and Stace, no matter where we go, we have a good time. So we make a party no matter where we go. And even though we were kind of like at I'm gonna say a boring resort or boutique hotel, it was still all inclusive. We made our own party. We did. I mean, we went to the bar and party with the DJs. They was actually looking for us. Like, when we came down from our room, they looking for us. Like, where y'all going? Y'all coming over to the bar? So they was hunting us down because we brought energy to the place. So I mean, just so we gonna turn up and have a good time no matter where we go. So we bring the party with us every time. So of course it would have been nice. And like I said, as we got towards the last couple of days, couples, black couples did show up. They were there, and we introduced ourselves. We talked, kind of gave them the ins and outs or whatever. So, but yeah, it's a nice trip. So I definitely highly recommend it. Barbados is a beautiful place. The weather, like I said, was amazing. The food was good. The people are nice. They're very courteous, and you'll hear them saying yes, please, and no, please a lot. So just get used to that. And you'll find people there from Jamaica, Africa, like from all over. Now, a lot to me, I think that island accent is just universal. They all sound alike because some of them sound like they were Jamaican. And sometimes they talk so fast, I had to tell them to repeat some of the things that they were saying because I couldn't understand what they were saying. So, but it's a good time. It really is. Y'all have a good time. I'm telling you, you'll have a good time. Definitely highly recommend Barbados. I'm so glad that we went. And like I said, I'll be willing to go back. I would definitely be willing to go back. So definitely check out Barbados. I think you'll have a great time. Yeah, definitely. Barbados was it. All right. Yeah, no worries. I'm glad I can help. Thank you for coming on and hanging in there with me and having some conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Argue. We do this every Thursday. Now that my schedule has changed, we're going to do it twice a day. Once I'm thinking I said 12 o'clock, but I may change it to like 12:30, and then we'll do it again at 5:30 in the evening. And we'll see how that go. Trying to pick up a little steam here and get more views, get more participation with the topics. And if you have a topic that you like to see discussed on Let's Argue, don't forget to inbox me with that topic or drop me a drop it in the chat window. Hey, Tanisha, what's up? So yeah, what's up, Pootie? My bad. Hey, Tanisha. So yeah, go ahead and drop that in the chat window if you have another topic you want to talk about. All right, so ladies, since I got you on here, Tanisha, let me get your thoughts on this. What do you think? Ms. Lawyer, let us know your legal mind. Tell me, what do you think about this?
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
All right. So do you prefer transparency or do you prefer honesty? And are the two mutually exclusive? Is it always necessary to be transparent or to give all details? As I said earlier, I think if you don't have transparency is deeper than honesty. Is it necessary to always be transparent if you haven't violated trust? If you have not violated the trust, is it necessary to be transparency? Okay, I think transparency breeds honesty. Okay. So when I can see that. So when you're talking to someone or you're transparent or giving details about what it is you're doing or about to do, then is that just because I don't know if men feel that way. But at least for me, I feel like that if there hasn't been a violation of the trust, then I don't necessarily have to know all the details. And I get what you're saying. Transparency is much deeper than honesty, but is it necessary? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be transparent. I'm just being devil's advocate here. But why is it always necessary when I say transparency, give details to everything that you're doing? So if you're telling me you're going to have lunch, do I have to know that everybody that every last one of your girlfriends are going to be there, or your cousins are going to be? Do I need to know all that? Yes, it is. We aren't waiting on a mishap to be transparent. Okay. So, but what is considered a mishap? So if I tell you that I'm going to lunch and I don't necessarily reveal that someone of the opposite, I'm telling you I'm going out with the fellas, and I don't tell you that there's going to be somebody of the opposite sex, then that's a mishap. Okay. Transparency doesn't mean details. Okay, what explain to me why it doesn't mean details? Because if I am giving you so if I'm being honest about where I'm going, and then you telling me transparency doesn't mean details, but I'm telling you, okay, I'm going to lunch and X, Y, and Z is going to be there, and in addition, this person is being there. Is that not details? Agree. Transparency should not be limited to details about a person. Absolutely, I agree with you there. I do agree with you there. I think that's maybe where I'm getting stuff kind of conflated or conflicted, because in her example, she gave, okay, hey, her boo or whoever, hey, I'm going to lunch. And in the second example she gave, which was the transparency part, I'm going to lunch with blah blah blah. Several of his boys. Oh, and Sarah's going to be there, but that was somebody of the opposite sex. So I guess my point is, if he was to leave that out, say this was your dude, and he left that part of it out, why would that be a problem for you? Or would it be a problem for you? She said, okay, I like her example. It prevented an assumption simply by being transparent. Okay. So in that example that she gave, and say the shoe was, say that was your significant other or man, and that was the situation, and he failed to give that detail, would that be an issue for you? Now, remember, she said she doesn't like honesty; she likes transparency, which to your point, it does breed trust. But my question is, if leaving that out, and again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm on. I agree or disagree one way or the other. I just want to know, like, from that position, is it always necessary to be transparent if you're being truthful? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. We're gonna read a couple more a couple of more cards from the game. It's called 80s Lyrically Correct. The 80s version. All right. Let's see what your 80s game look like, Tanisha. Okay, Tanisha said, because honesty was simply, I'm going to lunch. Transparency is really important going to lunch with Hank and Karen and my old ex-girlfriend. Now that I agree should be done. But I don't think in her example of transparency is different, because she said that whatever the guy's name, assistant, was going to be there. Was that necessarily to give those details in being transparent, especially if that wasn't his ex-girlfriend? That was somebody that his assistant was going to be like. Why was that necessary for him to be transparent or to give details about? All right, so here's the in my prerogative, Bobby Brown said that he doesn't give a damn when they say what. In my prerogative, Bobby Brown said that he doesn't give a damn when they say what. In my prerogative, Bobby Brown said that he doesn't give a damn when they say what. All right, y'all. Come on. Where you at, Robin? He's freak. What's up, Sharon? You're close, Sharon. You're close, but not quite there yet. Not quite there. You're a little off. Not he's nasty, but you close. So I can't can't wait to get your take on this video too, Sharon, if you haven't already seen it. Crazy. Bobby Ron was crazy, Tanisha, but that's not the answer. Sorry, counselor. It is he's nasty. Come on now, y'all. All right, so here's the next one. What telephone number did Tommy Two-Tone tell Jenny not to change? What telephone number did Tommy Two-Tone tell Jenny not to change? I don't even know who the hell Tommy Two-Tone is. What telephone number did Tommy Two-Tone tell Jenny not to change? All right. What telephone number did Tommy Two-Tone tell Jenny not to change? Where y'all at, ladies? Give me an answer to this. You're like, I don't know. If you don't know, put a I don't know emoji in the chat window for me. We're getting close. Anybody Bueller? Anybody Bueller? Don't be Googling nothing either. I don't even know. I know I would have got this one wrong because I don't even know who Tommy Two-Tones is. All right. 867-5309. Oh, I have heard of this song. 876-5309. I know who this is. Okay. I don't know the name of the group. All right. All right, Sharon, since you just joined in, let's go and play the video for you. Give me your thoughts on this.
I don't like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. Honesty is I ask you, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with?
Yeah.
And you tell me the truth. That means you're being honest.
Yeah.
Transparency is, hey, baby, I got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant, Sarah's going to be there.
And that's,
And that's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming.
Yep.
You told me what it was.
Yep.
And so now I trust it.
All right, Sharon, tell me, what do you think? Do you think it's necessary to always be transparent? Do you prefer honesty over transparency? Tanisha said earlier that transparency breeds honesty. What's your thoughts? Give me your thoughts on this. What do you think? It's been some really good conversation. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate your participation in today's discussion on Let's Argue. Again, we're going to try to do this twice a day now, especially since my schedule has changed. We'll do it in the afternoon and then again in the evening. So give me your thoughts. Sharon, where you at? What do you think? Is it transparency or is it honesty? Which do you prefer? All right, so I'm gonna read now the thing that I found interesting is that, because again, women generally don't ask questions they don't already know the answer to. Hey, babe, who were you at dinner with? Okay. Sharon said, not necessary. Transparency spares the drama. Okay, that's kind of like what Tanisha said earlier, that it spares the drama or there's no mishap. So how, in that scenario that we just heard, if that were you, how would you have taken that had you found out Sarah was at dinner with your husband or your man and Sarah's the assistant was just so happened to be there? Okay, you agree with Tanisha that transparency breeds honesty, and I can agree with that. I can see how that may happen. But as I said earlier, if you've never violated the trust or violated the honesty pact, why would it be necessary for me to be transparent? If you've never done anything for me to question your honesty, why do I have to be transparent? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying that you don't need to be transparent. But why would I need to be transparent if I've never done anything to cause you to question my honesty or my truthfulness? Oh, now we get down to the details with this now. I knew it was a little deeper than that. So women, you just appreciate the transparency. Okay. Okay. So, and Tanisha said earlier that transparency is a lot deeper. So we're looking more on because women, because y'all are more emotional, I'm just going to say it, and to connect more on an emotional level, does that provide some form of connection for y'all? The transparency part? That's a question. Does the transparency part provide more of a connection for you as a woman with your man or your husband? Does the transparency part provide more of an emotional connection for you as a woman with your man? All right, so while you're answering that question, I'm going to read a couple more from the game. Again, my question was, does the transparency provide a more of an emotional connection for you as a woman with your man? All right, so here's the next one. Oh, I know y'all gonna get this one. Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run? What did Run do? Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run do? Okay, you say yes. Okay, I figured it was something, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I figured it was something more on a more of a deeper level of understanding with women. Because again, my question, what I keep going back to, if I've never done anything to cause you to question my honesty, why do I need to be transparent? But I get it, and I get it at least from the answers that y'all gave. That is more of an emotional connection. And Tanisha said it's more transparency is more deeper than honesty. Okay, Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run do? I know y'all know the answer to this one. Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run do? Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run do? And I'm going to ask this question, because I said this earlier. Do women ask questions they already pretty much know the answer to? Or is that just something y'all want us to think? Because I feel like in that scenario, when she said, hey, babe, who were you at dinner with? Which means either she saw him or somebody else saw him. Or third option, maybe she was just like inquisitive. She know he went out. And she was like, oh, who were you at? Oh, hey, who were you at dinner with? Third option. I think more likely it was she saw him or somebody else saw him. Peter Piper picked peppers, but what did Run do? All right, Run rock rhymes. All right, here's the next one. And all night, Lionel Richie said, we're going to party, comma, and fiesta for how long? And all night, Lionel Richie said, we're going to party, comma, and fiesta for how long? And all night, Lionel Richie said, we're going to party, comma, and fiesta for how long? So my other question was, is it a misnomer that women generally ask questions that they already know the answer to? They just want to see if we as men are going to lie. Is that true? Or maybe y'all just asking just to be asking. Forever is the correct answer. All right, here's the next one. Sharon, is that a picture of you and your daughter? According to Cyndi Lauper, what do girls just want to do? According to Cyndi Lauper, what do girls just want to do? According to Cyndi Lauper, what do girls just want to do? True. So you saying to my question about women generally ask questions they already know the answer to? Y'all just want to see if we're gonna lie? I think that's entrapment. Counselor, I need you to chime in on that. Isn't that entrapment? According to Cyndi Lauper, what do girls just want to do? Oh, that's your mom. I'm sorry. I can't really see the picture. I wasn't for sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I lost my mom earlier too. Have fun is correct. Sorry to hear about the loss of your mom. All right, so here's the next. Sorry about that. Here's the next one. Bobby Womack said, "If you think you're lonely now, then what? Until when?" Bobby Womack said, "If you think you're lonely now, then wait until when?" Bobby Womack said, "If you think you're lonely now, then wait until when?" Bobby Womack said, "If you think you're lonely now, then wait until when?" Wait until tonight. Yeah. All right. Last question before we close it out. According to Rick James, if she's a freaky, kinky girl, where don't you take her? According to Rick James, if she's a freaky, kinky girl, where don't you take her? If she's a freaky, kinky girl, where don't you take her? Home to mother. That is absolutely correct. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much, Sharon. It was a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. You too, Tanisha and Robin. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate all the feedback and the insightful thoughts given on this today's topic. Again, we'll do this every Thursday. This time we're going to try to do it twice a day, somewhere around 12:30, and again maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. But we're definitely going to do it twice a day since my schedule has changed. I'm excited about that, so I can get back to doing this on a regular basis. If you have any additional topics that you think you might want to see discussed here on Let's Argue, go ahead and leave those in the chat window. Don't forget to share and like the page. Also, tune in, go to the YouTube channel, tune in from there, like the content, the information there. Don't forget to share it so that the channel grows. We can have more robust conversations around the topics that we choose on the show. With that, I'm going to bid you peace. See y'all next week.